Now, you've been living with Annette for, what's it been, 2.5, 2 years? Do you think...
You think this is Annette?
She's been...
Is that what you're saying?
You're asking me if I think your bride is defecating on the floor in random spots in the house? You might be onto something, sir.
The other 47 states, we need your official entry to the Cheese-Mageddon
Off
2018.
Cheese-Mageddon off 2018. Nope, that sounds like a sexual act. That's right, folks. Don't go cheesing Mageddon off.
Oh, look who's here.
It was in the 80s.
Serial pooper is back.
Oh, hey, Annette.
Jesus. For the record, my wife does not poop on the floor. I forgot about all that.
And we're pretty funny.
Well, I had forgotten about it until somebody who may be my brother brought it up while on vacation.
Oh, did he? Now to the suspect or to you?
Yeah, the suspect was there who has not listened to the podcast yet.
So the suspect was questioned.
Suspect was wondering why she is being referred to as a serial pooper.
Well, we've only referred to two things as cereal on this show, and I think she got the better of the two because the other half is a serial butthole picture taker.
Is that Hope Solo?
Hope Solo. So I would argue your wife got the better end of being a serial offender on this show by possibly being a serial... No, I'm sorry, not possibly being. Supposedly, in your mind, she's been cleared.
Yeah, now, I feel as though I can say definitively that, it was not her.
Now, judging by your brother's interactions, I don't know. I'd need a transcript. Was this, was the interrogation recorded?
It was not. It came up out of nowhere. It was,
And you're saying she took it well?
I may have gotten the look. You know the look. Everyone knows the look. The look that you get from your significant other when you do something that they deem inappropriate that you're not supposed to do.
And in fairness, I want to defend myself a tiny bit because I have said some things about your wife that may have been misconstrued over the years, like the violin is part of the idiot machine crowd, etc. This one, and you heard it there in the intro, you brought up the initial question that are you saying it's my wife?
I thought that was the direction you were going in. Apparently not.
Yeah. No, I was thinking elsewhere, but it jumped to your mind that maybe she was the suspect and not your dog.
Well, it
Lola.
jumped to my mind that your mind would think that. So it's really still your fault.
Whatever roundaboutism you need to get out of this, I encourage it. That's I totally understand.
That's the Steve and Kyle podcast, Monday, July 9th, 2018, the year of our Lord.
What an intro for the Free Beer and Hot Wing Show listeners, though, who joined, who maybe gave it a shot last week, right?
Perhaps. I looked at the numbers. They dwindled throughout the week, I'll be honest.
That's the way it always goes. It starts really high because...
Monday, 50 million people listen. Yeah. And then by Friday, it's like, cool, we got like 6 more.
Yeah. And if we can hang on to 1.
That's all it takes.
That's an improvement.
That's all it takes. I did see some tweets and some Facebook posts from people who are hopping on board, listening to us for the first time, so we appreciate that.
Yeah, a couple people, or 1 or 2, said they're going to go back and start listening from scratch.
Oh, boy. Now, jump in around like 60 or so.
Your interview.
You know something?
Go to your interview 1 and then start.
Let's make a deal. New listeners out there.
Oh, I didn't know if you're talking to me.
Listeners, here's what we need you to do. Mm-hmm. You can go back, download every episode.
Yeah.
Then delete every episode.
Sure.
Then download every episode.
Mm-hmm.
Then delete every episode. Do this about 6 or 7 times. You don't even have to listen to them.
Mm-hmm.
Hell, I don't even care. Just download them a bunch of times.
Get those things on the system.
Get those numbers up.
Yeah, juice it for us a little bit. And then, I think, we talked about it. I think a logical starting spot is the year in review that we did. Would have been around Christmas of 2016.
Yeah, 2016.
God,
then listen
we've been doing this too long.
Listen to the year in review for 2017. Yeah, it's weird because we're not at the point where we can say last year when we started this whole thing.
Nope.
We are well into our third year at this point.
That's insane. I've suffered an Achilles injury.
Yeah.
You've moved, I don't know, 4 times since we started.
I was going to say half a dozen times.
We're in our third studio.
There, yeah.
A lot of changes over the 2+ years we've been doing this nonsense.
Yeah. And here we are.
Yeah.
Episode number 100, whatever.
100. Blah. I think first and foremost, Steve, get the sound effect ready. The biggest news this week. We have to discuss because preparations need to begin on our end. Now, the hard work from our listener, Steve, is done. Mm-hmm. Now, the work on our end.
What sound effect am I getting?
The drum roll. Maybe the hour-long one? You want to pull that one up again?
Yeah, I'll just I should just have it playing full-time in the background.
But we never acknowledge it.
And I was going to say have it playing full-time, and then when we need it, I just turn it on.
Oh, that's a great idea. Now, granted, the next time we need something off the computer and you pot it up quick to hear a news story and there's a drum roll going on, that might give away our tell.
I don't know. Oh, here we go.
Oh, it's starting. Do I have an hour?
Oh, no, you have 1 second.
That was it? Doesn't even have
big... it doesn't even
I need a different drum roll. Let me vamp a little bit. I need one with an end. Like
1 hour of endless drum roll. Starting now.
Who needs that, by the way? Our GoFundMe campaign to get our podcast on a billboard, Steve. Now, this is our effort to take the podcasting world by storm.
Do you need a...
I would like bing, if you have it. Do you want to...
Yeah.
Do you have some ice you can jingle, maybe?
I just queued into the 21-minute mark. Hold on. Let me jump to the end.
Maybe they got one right at the 59:50.
All right, we're at 59:12.
So you want to skip to like 59:50, or you want to play this out the last 48?
I don't know. 36, 40. Okay, 59:40.
Here it comes, huh?
It's difficult to get those, the fine-tuned clicks.
I'm very curious to hear if they...
59:50.
Oh, this is it. This is the big countdown. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Oh, are you kidding me? You did it for an hour?
You think that's looped, or you think he just had like a hamster on a wheel that would make and then 2 drumsticks that were going every time the wheel would rotate?
Yeah, I guess that would work.
So, the GoFundMe campaign to get our podcast on a billboard in rural Ohio, because as we all know, rural Ohio leads to podcast leading in America.
Yeah, it's the podcast gateway to the world.
Yeah. So this is the start, and this is the most modern form of advertising we could think of on this internet-streamed podcast.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, there's nothing else you can do.
No.
Social media, whatever.
Stupid.
It's fly-by-night.
Anybody, listen, we've talked about it. There's an episode where we recapped our social media advertising efforts. It got us like 4 likes and $20 spent. So it wasn't worth it for us.
I forgot about that. Yeah, the Facebook one. It was
Facebook and Twitter.
The Facebook campaign, because I think I did the Facebook one and you did the Twitter one. And the Facebook campaign, it went for like 1 minute.
Yeah,
got 3 views. Like, wow,
it was a scam.
I feel like Zuckerberg is really laughing at all, the whole way to the bank.
It was a scam. Now, I feel like a week ago we were at like $350. I don't even know. No, maybe $400.
We were at $400. Because we had stalled there since we had
week before.
We had forgotten to set up the payment methods, which done.
Completely. Have you checked the email?
Oh, I haven't. No.
Yeah, we're going to need to do that. We got a problem with the bank.
Oh, good.
I meant to text you that. Yeah.
Okay.
Well, as of now, we have and will have $0.
I kind of like that. I like the fact that there's no money in my account yet. Because
we didn't want us get it. And if you donate to our GoFundMe and it showed that the money's been withdrawn, trust me when I tell you, we did not want that.
Yeah.
We wanted to put this off as long as possible, but they have a policy that if your campaign's active for 30 days and you don't have a bank set up, it pauses. Nobody else can donate. Yeah. So we had to set something up, and apparently Steve entered it in incorrectly or something. So
was it like a bad routing number?
It didn't say.
Number? Okay.
Just said the bank account problem. So we finished our campaign, which ran, and it's still not closed, by the way, because I don't know how to just close it. Just don't donate anymore. $490, Steve.
Yes.
So with our donation of $10, we're at an even $500.
Hey, look at that.
Nice job, everybody. Thank you to everybody for the donations. Now, like I said, the hard part starts. Now, Steve and I, within the next week, I think, we'll have to secure a time where you and I make a phone call or two, and we give a shout down to whoever's advertising on billboards in the middle of Ohio. Right?
Now, do we are we just brutally honest with them from the beginning and be like, look, here's what we did. We had this GoFundMe. We're an up-and-coming upstart podcast. Still wet behind the ears in the broadcast business.
Yeah.
And we're looking to make our voice heard there in rural Ohio. What do you got for us? Maybe they'll cut us a deal. Maybe
I think so. There's two camps. One, we either roll in hot and heavy with a haggling hand.
Okay.
And we start saying, what's your lowest price?
How about
cut it by 30% or I'm hanging up?
How about good cop, bad cop?
Ooh.
I'll say, hey, Dolores, how are you today? Yeah. Oh, that's fantastic.
Hey, Dolores, you ugly hag. What do you want?
Hey, Kyle, come on now. You can't be talking to them. I'm so sorry, Dolores. Kyle did not mean... He just gets excited.
Your grandkids hate you, Dolores.
Oh, Kyle, that is so
billboards are horrendous.
Dolores, I apologize again. How about we send you a T-shirt?
Go buy some more floral prints, you idiot.
So that'll maybe you might have to tone it back just a little bit.
You don't think that's
it's a little? It's a
you
bit
think
much.
it's too bad cop then?
Yeah,
okay.
That's like good cop, a-hole cop. That's good cop Kyle.
Would it be better if okay, so now start talking to Dolores again.
Oh, hey, Dolores. We were wondering about the prices.
Great name.
We were wondering about the prices of billboard on...
Real affordable net dump town, I'm sure.
Oh, no. Route 13, if you could tell us.
Not as good as Route 10. Bunch of inbred jerks.
Really?
Just from a distance, though.
No, you're talking...
But then
you're talking smack about road numbers.
But if I do it that way, every time... What's that noise? You say, oh, I'm sorry, I'm in a busy airport. But we keep her on...
It's that man next to me talking to his secretary.
That way we keep Dolores on her toes, and then by the time she opens up her Rolodex to figure out who to contact about what's currently on Route 13's 6-foot-high junior billboard, we're already knocking down the price a few bucks. So in the next week, I think you and I need to get together, at least make one phone call.
Yeah.
However many minutes it takes, record it.
We got $500. Like, $500 is going to get us something.
It's not...
I tried to take a picture of a billboard locally around here that is exactly what I imagine ours is going to look like.
Yeah.
There's a nice little restaurant, and they have... It looks like... I mean, it's a professionally done sign.
Okay.
And it says, like, join us on the new patio deck or something. But it's like an 8x4 sheet of plywood with just 2 4x4 posts in the ground holding it up.
That's what we want. That's what we need.
Yeah. You know where the new, the fancy gas station is?
Yeah.
It's diagonal across the street.
Oh, I've seen that.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay.
And I was pulling up to that light, and it's on the right-hand side. And I was trying to, like, take a picture back over my shoulder as I was sitting at the light.
Yeah.
But it was at the wrong angle. It couldn't get it.
I honestly think that road is too busy, like, in comparison.
Oh, God, yeah.
For what we're looking for, right?
I'm thinking that our road won't even be paved.
But that's a good target, and I agree with you. So that's the plan. So now we need to start soliciting suggestions, because the next big step, obviously, Steve, you and I contact these billboard idiots who are hawking a technology from 50 years ago.
Technology?
The first people who decided to put signs on the side of the road, right? And now I
don't even think... Yeah, you can't even give them the credit for calling it technology.
The only advancement has been the one person who thought, boy, this is really cost prohibitive to go up there every month and peel off that 30 by 60 piece of vinyl and glue up a new one.
Yeah.
And they made them digital. So we need to call and figure this out. But the next step, We need to solicit ideas on what should be on the billboard. Now, the one we use for the GoFundMe campaign, something like that is in the realm of possibilities. The New Leaders in Podcasting, 10 speeds, nuts, words. And then the asterisk, obviously, within a 4.5 block radius of Steve's house, and then our logo in the center. But yeah, any ideas you have? Maybe a catchphrase, maybe a slogan.
Like this. How about some of Philip's art? Maybe this beautiful...
Oh, that's beautiful too, isn't it?
Beautiful illustration that he did of a frog sitting on a coffee, like the handle of a coffee mug.
Yeah, tea mug.
A tea mug, yeah. The mug says pond scum on it as the little frog holds a ladle. I think that's beautiful.
It's so well done.
So perfectly done.
He added some new art today even.
He did.
We'll get to the longer story of that. But my most recent post got a beautiful piece of art from Philip today.
Yeah, I saw your post. I got to take my hat off to you.
You want to get into it?
It's yeah, why not? Let's just get into it right now. It
doesn't need to be overly long because we're tight on time.
Wait a minute, hold on. I need some intro music for this.
Yeah, how do we not have DIY music? We've talked about it enough between you and me and all of the projects we've taken on in the 2+ years we've been doing this. Mm-hmm. We have viewer mail time intro. We've gotten 3 pieces of mail ever.
Okay. Hopefully this fits.
I hope this fits. What it is.
Yes.
That's right.
Oh, JTT.
You know there's some guy just shredding that guitar right now. Think I can learn that in 6 hours?
No.
I can learn that.
Was that a flute?
Or a recorder? That man was like 100 millionaire from a grunt.
100 millionaire?
Like, he's not just a millionaire.
Say a millionaire.
Yeah, but a million. Listen, anybody can walk into $1 million. You win a poker tournament, you win $1 million. But like, he did that show for 9 years, making like $1 million an episode towards the end. He's got to be loaded.
Yeah, it's true.
Between that and all the George and the Jungle money still overflowing his cup, guy's got to be loaded down. So it was time again this week, Steve, for some DIY. Now, this has been in debate in my house for about a month. I believe we talked about it the last time we had a fire over here at your house. It was brought up.
This was the big project, the big summer project.
Yeah, doing some renovations in the house, clearing out a bedroom, moving things around, doing a bunch of stuff. Mm-hmm. And one of the things I wanted to do was build or purchase a large-scale bookcase for all of our books and DVDs and Blu-rays, because currently they're on 6 racks. You know, I've got 3 DVD racks, those old kind that are just 2 bars and they kind of sit on an angle.
None of them, I'm sure, like, if it's like anywhere else, none of them match. They're all kind of...
Exactly. They're all a little bit... The two DVD racks match, and then I have 3 other shelves. They're all 3 different. Mm-hmm. I was tired of it. I didn't like it. It's time to be more grown up, have it look nice.
Yeah.
So I had been talking for a while about building a bookcase, which was met in my own brain with, you shouldn't do that. Yeah. What in my history, from you knowing me and you being a part of this, makes you think I could build a bookcase on a large form or a small form?
No, nothing. I have zero confidence.
It took us 4 days to put in a dishwasher. It took me 6 hours to put in. I think it was 6 trips to 4 hardware stores. And it took me however many hours it was to hang a towel rod. Okay? So, needless to say, this isn't exactly in my wheelhouse, but I've said for the last year, and to my own credit, to pat myself on the back, I said I need to know some of these things. Mm-hmm. So when the day comes, I can pass this down to somebody, and they can also be inept at DIY.
Yeah.
So we had decided. I was recruiting my brother, and I said, "Hey, he built 2 houses in high school. I'm sure he's adept enough that we could figure this out."
Yeah.
Recruited him about a month ago. Said, "Hey, if I decide to do this, would you be willing to help?" He said, "Absolutely." And then he said, "But have you thought about looking at IKEA?" Because I had looked at all the usual suspects online, and they're all way more than I wanted to spend, and whatever. So I said, "No, I haven't. Let me take a look."
Knowing full well that, how many times have you said to yourself, because I know I've said it a million times, where you see something that you want, oh man, that's $400. It's really expensive. I could probably build something for $80. And then 6 weeks later, and probably $200 because it's never as cheap as you expect it's going to be.
The budget's always, I mean, you've done the Jeep. I did my bathroom.
Yeah.
Budgets just throw them away. So, you're right. I absolutely had that thought because that was my initial thought.
Yeah. I could spend a couple $100.
Look at that.
Is that about what it would have been if you had gone IKEA?
It would have been slightly less. But the problem with IKEA
like
and everybody...
$200-$300 probably?
Yeah, the lower end of that.
Okay.
But the problem with IKEA...
no question for me.
Right?
I would have said, sold.
So here's my conundrum.
And waited for my Skarsgård bookshelves or whatever they're called, because they all have those weird Swedish names with too many consonants.
And the A has the dot or 2 dots on top of it.
Yeah, like Motley Crue.
Yeah. I don't like that. No, keep your Swedish stuff out of here. So, but the problem, and everybody knows with IKEA, is, well, they're not like every town. And for us, it is 2.5 from here. You've been there. 2.5?
Yeah, it's 2.5 to Chicago or 2.5 to Detroit.
And I didn't want to do that. And shipping is like 60-something extra dollars. Really? Yeah, so my brother was thinking about going, but I never got a firm timetable on if and when he was going to go. So it was D-Day. Like, we had been talking about this for a while, hindering other projects.
Bookshelves need to be built.
I need this thing done one way or another so we can progress on other things in the house. And so I was looking around at lumber, and I wanted it pre-painted because I didn't want to have to do an extra step. But that is prohibitive in terms of cost. Yep. Way too much money. So I looking at doing the math in my head. Get out there for $6 for that. Yeah, I'm going to do this. Just like that.
So did you you draw plans? Rough idea of what?
Yeah, if you want to call my orange sticky note.
I was going to say, because I saw that there were some numbers.
That was the second sticky note with the numbers that I needed all the boards cut at.
Oh, so you had you paid.
Oh yeah.
Oh, that I was going to ask you if you went old school and like busted out the saw and cut all of them by hand.
I have a circular saw. I'm not just, holding down one end of a board with one arm and sawing away on the other.
Or you got one of those like old-timey tree cutting saws, so Robert's on one end, you're on the other.
And if it wobbles, it starts making music.
Yeah. When you were taking a break, you blew on a jug, and Robert was like
all of that to cut 40-inch shelves. That's what we decided. No, I had a circular saw, and don't worry, it was still necessary.
Good.
Because you're not going to believe this. And so I'm glad you're sitting down. All right. My measurements weren't accurate,
what?
Steve. I know. You're going to hold the phone, all the cliches. I couldn't believe it myself. So yeah, we went to the hardware store. I got all my lumber, and I said, do you guys do cuts? I said, I don't care if it's an extra $1 a board for it. They said,
because it's normally they do, because I actually had something cut there last week too. I had to buy one board, and it was 8 feet long.
Yep.
But I didn't want to have to bring it here, lug it down into the basement to cut it. So I was like, screw it, I'll just have them cut it.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think the first 2 cuts are free, and then they say that they charge $25 or 25 cents each additional cut, but they never do.
They never do. And how would they know? I mean, unless the person with the saw is, doing a tally.
Yeah, or the person at the counter is sitting there and piecing all your boards back together.
Yeah. So, and what I had forgotten to say was the ultimate reason I didn't end up going with IKEA was because I did not want. I thought that the sizes I was going to buy from IKEA were still going to be too small in terms of length. I wanted it longer, and it's that pressed, what is it, MDF board, particle board, essentially. It's just pressed together wood shavings that make the... So the quality isn't great. It's not what you would get if you had a normal wood bookcase.
Yeah, it's the kind of wood, like if you put a cup down on it and it leaves like the little the ring, the condensation ring, you come back a day later and it's like when you get a book wet and like all the pages are
just unfolded,
fanned out. Yeah.
So I looked at that and I thought, well, the shipping and this and the quality, if we do it this way, I can get an extra 36 inches out of the bookshelf, which is what I want. I wanted it to be essentially wall to wall.
Yep.
So I had all my sticky note measurements. I brought it there. They cut it. I could see it was a kid cutting it, and I saw, he cut one. And so I knew, hey, can I get 8 cut this way? He'd cut it. He'd use that as a measurement for the next one. Yeah, slide it down.
That's a bad method.
And one, he slides down. He's lining them up on one on top of another. So there's 2 of them there, and I can see from 5 feet behind him that there's like 3/4 of an inch extra.
I wonder if it's the same guy that cut mine.
Mine was a young kid.
Mine was a young kid also.
Yeah, it probably was.
The one thing I noticed is that he was using the thickest marker I've ever seen to make the line. So the line itself had a 1/2 inch of variance from one side to the other.
Oh, no.
So you have to at least know, like, okay,
on the inside or the outside?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And he wasn't doing that.
Oh, no.
So I got back and all of my... I mean, granted, it didn't matter for what I was working on, but yeah, I needed them all like 15 inches long. Well, one's 14 and a half, one's 15 and a quarter.
And that's... I don't have a nice arm saw. Now, you do. But for something like that, they can... It's just... It's so much faster. And for me, I don't have the option.
I'm surprised that the size of wood that you were working with, he should have stacked up numerous boards, cut them all as one.
Would have been, I can promise you this, it would have been a lot quicker. So he cut it all, fine enough. I knew there was going to be a tiny bit of variance, but as long as there wasn't too much on my, essentially on my box, my main boards, I was going to be fine. Get them home, paint them all, spend, 4 hours painting, double painting, 2 coats on everything. So I've got...
I hate painting so much.
It's stupid. So at this point, so just for reference, I have 4, 6, 16, 18, 19...
Got to paint both sides.
20...
Got to paint all the edges.
I have 32 pieces of wood. So I've got my in-laws bring over sawhorses. I've got folding tables. I've got my ladder resting so I can rest just anything so I can paint, have it get dry, and flip it. And honestly, it felt like it moved pretty quick. We got it all painted. Decide it's about 4:30 in the afternoon. And my initial thought was, let's get it all painted. We can put it together tomorrow on Sunday. Kyle got squirrely.
Woo!
Got a wild hair Saturday. And I thought, you know what? If I spend the rest of my night in it, like just sitting here thinking about the lumber,
I know exactly. I'm the same exact way. I hate when something is incomplete.
And already in my mind, I have accepted. If I'm up till 1 a.m. doing this, I'm up until 1 a.m. doing this.
And you got a free day tomorrow.
That's my entire thing.
Your day tomorrow would just be putting all your movies in. Oh, look, it's Rambo.
Loading it up, telling
that in the R's.
Loading it up, telling everybody my success story. My Sunday was booked, Steve, with freedom.
It's a good feeling.
So
4th of July too had just passed. I mean, you're celebrating a little bit late.
Yeah,
but that's all right.
Absolutely. I'm doing it in America's honor, and I don't want to get too much into the minutia, but obviously with walls, there's trim. I had to build the bookcase over the trim because I didn't want to have to carve out with a miter saw of this wood. So whatever, I figured I'll build a box. I'll set the bookcase on the box. Now, what's important to remember is this is me. And this is my plan that I've drawn out. This isn't from Pinterest. This isn't from anywhere else. So I'm proud as hell of this because I've done the measurements. I know how wide everything needs to be. I'm pouring it over in my brain because I know, like, well, no, you figured out those gaps, but you forgot to take into account the width of the wood and this and that. Yep. So I'm going through it in my head. I'm redoing everything. And so my dad says, hey, do you need a hand? I said, absolutely. If you'd be willing to help, please do. He comes over. He helps me build the box, the toe kick, I guess is what a lot of people call it.
Yeah, in the biz.
And my entire intention for this entire bookcase was to be 96 inches wide, which is exactly 8 feet. You know why that is? I didn't have to have another cut made.
Yeah, exactly. Pieces come in 8-foot sections.
Yep. So I figured 8 feet, and I was going to do it by 80 inches tall because 8 feet would have been to the ceiling, and we wanted to leave a little room on top. Well, what Kyle forgot to do when he was pouring over measurements, so my dad and I were nailing into the trim. We're building this little pedestal box. We load up the bookcase or one of the boards on it to see how it's going to space out. Yeah, it's about an inch and 3/4 short. So Kyle forgot to take into account the sides of this toe
I like
kit.
how you speak in the third person to make it sound like it's not your fault.
Some idiot.
Let's call him, I don't know, Kyle.
Yeah. Forgot to take into account putting the side pieces in between the long pieces or on the outside. So we did it wrong. So we had to pry all that off it outside, saw 1.5 inches off each of those, put it back on, boom, no problem.
All right, so minor setback, but no big deal.
Easy. Well, that took to put everything together and to try to get it level on the ground. It took a little over 2 hours, 2.5 hours, and thank God my dad was there. If my dad's not there to help, I'm still fiddling with those pieces. And by this time, I probably cut them down to little toothpicks, and I'm wondering why nothing fits.
Hey, well, at least we got some wood then for our up and coming toothpick business.
And then I bring them over, we stamp them, and we sell them for $20 a toothpick. Or what are we going to charge? $5
I think
a toothpick?
$5 a toothpick
Per.
Yeah,
and that's wood. They're going to go fast. And so he helps me, and they're like, hey, we're going to go. I said, thank you so much for the help. Well, at that point, I was ready to burn the house down because it took that long.
Reasonable.
Katie and I decide, nope, we're going to venture forward. We're going to do this.
Really?
We're going to
Forging ahead.
So at that point, I've got the box I need to build everything on. So at that point, we needed more screws. I told her to buy the wrong screws, so we had to go get different screws that were longer. Whatever. We get back. I say, all right, well, we got this base. Let's lay down the pieces. So like an interpretation of what it would look like when it's all built just at ground level.
Sure.
To make sure it's all going to work.
Make sure everything is the right length. You don't have one that's 3/4 of an inch too long.
Yeah, because for stability, and again, all these pictures are on our social media, at Steve and Kyle on Facebook.com/Steve and Kyle. I put a divider in the middle because that long I didn't want any of the wood to bow, and I didn't want any sagging or whatever. So I put 2 dividers right in the middle for stability.
So you basically built 2 separate bookcases.
Yep.
And then
2 rectangles essentially.
Pushed them together.
Lay it all down. Guess what, Steve? About 1.5 inches heavy.
On which measurement? Which direction?
The long,
all of them?
Long.
Okay.
So had to take all 10 of my shelves out, saw 9/16 of an inch off or whatever the number ended up being to make sure they fit, saw them all off.
All right.
But after that, smooth sailing. We put it all together, and you don't really realize how uncomfortable it is to put something like that together. So what you have is 2 uprights, and then you're trying to put shelves in. So you're trying to do it, is it on the ground? Well, then you're trying to level it back and forth, front to back and left to right.
Yeah.
So you're balancing all this. You're trying to screw it all in. It's a nightmare. It's awful.
Yeah, until you get those first, 6 screws in.
Yeah, you've got to get the top and bottom board in and still kind of hope for the best that when you're screwing it in, it doesn't just wave to one side or the other. But we honestly had, okay, so I had cut 16 dividers. So, book shelf dividers in between, just kind of as more of a design than anything. Now, those shelves are only 40-some inches wide, so you figure they're not going to have that much weight with that type of wood. It's not going to be a problem.
No, I thought it looked very nice, though. I saw the picture.
Yeah.
I thought that was a very nice touch.
Yeah, so I had them cut 16. I was going to do 8 apiece. I had patterns for each side, and that was all well and good. And I told them, I figured out the air space. Like I said, I was pouring over those measurements. 12.5 inches of air.
Obviously not enough.
12.5 inches of air, Steve, between each shelf, I tell you.
Okay.
That was all of my math. So it is surprise you to hear that there are shelves with 11 inches of air, a shelf with 14 inches of air,
okay,
and a shelf with 12.25 inch of air.
Okay, so they varied a bit,
which is fine. Honestly, I still like the look of it. We've only got dividers on 3 of the shelves, which we looked at and I thought, you know what? I actually kind of like that better anyway. It kind of looks unique.
Yeah, plus you need wood for the fire pit. So
Yeah,
you threw the other 10 dividers out in the out in the yard.
2 coats of paint going on the fire pit. So, 13 plus hours later from start, we finally finish. Wow. It's done. And for all intents and purposes, it wasn't going anywhere. We hoisted it up on that pedestal. Mm-hmm. It sat great. Now, I had to run to the store again yesterday to get, I wanted some anchors, and I didn't want to do like the traditional anchors where it's like straps so they can still lean forward.
Yeah.
No, it's a bookcase. If it leans forward, all the books are coming
right.
out. I don't want that.
No.
Man, I screwed 4 of the biggest brackets I could find into studs. Loaded it up yesterday. Snapped another picture with the tag, Suck It Bob Vila.
Right. Which Philip then illustrated for us today. There's a picture on Twitter.
Yeah.
that Philip drew. I looked at that, and it's funny because I didn't realize what it was at first.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you have to read the last tweets. Otherwise, this is way out of context.
And I look at it, and I'm like, man, that guy looks a lot like Bob Vila. And then I saw that it's replying to at Stephen Kyle and at Bob Vila. Philip tweeted this picture of Bob Vila giving the finger.
Giving the middle finger to presumably me, because I just told him to suck it.
Yeah, I would assume that was probably... Yeah, I think that's a good assumption that was meant for you.
So, in my wildest imagination... Bob Vila is going to sit down tonight. He's going to have a nice steak dinner. Him and I'm guessing, I don't know if he's married, him and his wife. They're going to discuss their day. Bob and Mary going to discuss their days. Have a glass of wine. Turn on the fire.
Yeah. Talk about windows and doors, because that's what Bob Vila does.
And then Bob's going to log on to his computer for the first time that day. Mm-hmm. Open up Twitter. See a picture of a rickety bookcase with uneven shelves with a tag that says, suck it. And then a cartoon drawing of him giving nothing the bird with a grin on his face. In my wildest dreams, that's what happens later today.
Yeah, that's... I like it.
Hey, man. That is a D.I. Kyle win in the upset of all upsets. Now... Katie had to keep me in line because I still consider this a failure because it took 13 hours.
Really?
I had to recut all the shelves.
You don't. Now, if you had to do it all over again, how fast do you think you could do it? Half the time?
Yeah, I mean, knowing what I know now, that pedestal box wouldn't take 2.5 hours. I would obviously know, hey, redo your math just one more time,
Would you get
pants.
Would you get the pre-primed wood this time? No?
No, because I would still have to paint it.
All right.
At least a coat. The pre-primed is...
I need a dollar amount of how much money you saved over ordering from IKEA.
Now, are we including the presumed shipping costs of IKEA if I'd gone shipping?
Yeah, because it probably, would you say it would have been like $60?
$60.
And it probably would have cost you, what, $35-$40 to drive there to pick them
so let's
up.
Call it negligible, I guess, at that point. I saved, Steve.
Oh, hold on.
Oh, you got it? You got a 60-minuter?
No, but I'll find it any second now. I'm going to find it.
Attention, it's building.
There we go. Okay. Come on.
Does this one end or is this the hour?
No, it ends.
Oh. I always wait for the... Okay, I saved.
Come on.
Build the tension.
Wait, did you not save? Did you go over?
No, Steve, I saved. I saved $40.
Whoa!
Huh?
Yes.
How about that?
All right. And that, so...
DIY win, folks.
So you made $40.
Yeah.
You paid yourself $3 an hour to build those bookshelves.
Well, I guess in this scenario, I wouldn't have been driving over there to get it. But if I drive over there to get it, we're at, let's call it 5 hours of driving, 30 minutes in the store. How long does it take to put together some IKEA furniture?
probably bookshelves.
Yeah.
They're pretty easy, I would think.
Let's talk
Can't imagine it would
31
take you more than an hour.
Okay. 31 by like 79 inches.
Yeah.
Big ones, so like 2 hours
Yeah.
piece, anything, because they're probably so big.
Sure. Yeah.
I mean, I'm right at 10 hours there, so if you think about it, I almost saved time.
It's basically a wash.
Yeah, I saved time. No, that was a long day. I didn't get done until after 11, but that, I am calling it a DIY win. Now here's my goal, Steve, because I don't want to be useless anymore. So when APS 4.0 rolls around in 2020, never.
Yeah.
I'm going to be able to, you're going to be at work, I'm going to need a key. Because I'm coming in, and I'm going to be building.
Is that so?
You're going to come home from a long day of work, which you get out of work before me, so I don't know when this scenario will ever take place. And you're going to walk in, there's going to be a wall there.
Where?
In the studio.
Okay.
I don't know where. I don't know if it'll be against like the concrete.
So you're just going to put up a random wall?
Yeah, just dry. That's all you need, right?
Yeah.
Just a sheet of drywall, concrete screws.
Yeah.
Right in.
That's it.
Done.
Can't wait.
That's my goal. To not be useless come 2020 never. When APS 4.0 rolls around. So that way I'm texting you like a Wednesday night at like 9:30, like, hey, I'm thinking 3/18 of an inch lock bracket screws for them drywall hangers. What do you think?
Yeah, the wildly popular 3/18 of an inch denomination. You're going to be hard pressed to find a tape measure that measures in 1/18 of an inch.
Well, listen, it's not that hard. It's in between 3/16 and 2/16
and 3/19.
And 3/19. Yeah. So
Well, silly me.
it's that one tick on the tape measure right there.
Yeah.
You just got to look for that one.
Yeah.
Now, thank you everybody for your support. Such warming tweets sent to me about it. I believe it was Betsy tweeted at me. No offense, but I'm going to need proof by putting books on it. I had
now when you guys finally finished, everything was up, anchored to the wall, and you started loading it up. That had to be a pretty proud moment, I would assume. But were you also still? Was it like when you hang up a shelf for the first time, and you go to put something on it, and you're like. Or like when you put up your TV wall mount and you hang the TV on it and you don't really let go of it because you're unsure whether it's going to hold the full weight of it or not. You're just like, okay.
I was comfortable.
Really?
I pretty much jumped on this thing
Did
once
you?
I anchored it to the wall to make sure it wasn't going anywhere.
All right.
Also, such heartwarming tweets from Boots. Based on who's doing this project and the items in his cart, I'm going to guess it's plumbing or electrical. And that was after a picture of my cart with nothing but lumber and paint.
Well,
nothing but encouragement from our podcast listeners.
Done, Boots. Also, Boots, thank you very much for supporting the Steve and Kyle podcast on, what is it, Trivia?
HQ Trivia.
HQ Trivia.
Yeah.
Somebody emailed me a screenshot.
Oh,
They
really?
said, it was the one that I had sent you last night. Somebody was playing one night last week.
Yeah.
Took a screenshot of it, sent it to me, and they said, hey, I don't really know who this is, but I was playing trivia tonight, and I saw this. And one of the comments just says, Steve and Kyle podcast.
Yeah, now that chat, I don't think you play, but HQ Trivia is just...
it's huge, yeah.
Oh, it's massive. And I play most nights, and I've seen that. There was last week or 2 weeks ago, I saw that from Boots, as well as another... I apologize for forgetting it. It may have been Betsy even, Betsy Boo, who would also tweet images of that and do the same thing in the chat. Now, just a stupid comment. I mean, none of those comments have any context on the HQ Trivia, but yeah, that's fantastic.
Much appreciated.
Speaking of money, Steve, and budgets, I had something I wanted to ask you.
Mm-hmm.
Now, you spent the last week in your home state of New Jersey.
The motherland called, and I went running.
Mother Cannoli
called me back.
Mother Cannoli, Papa Fettuccine, beckoned to you, and you had to return. Now you walk in, you get off the plane, you no doubt walk down the tarmac, or you kick a gate down. Hey, what are you gonna do?
Well, first I get down on my hands and knees and I kiss the ground, because that's just out of respect for the
For the
homeland.
state. Yeah, obviously. You're in the land that Tony Soprano built, and I expect you to act as such.
Mm-hmm. We made our way to the rent-a-car place where we quickly got our convertible.
Yeah.
And
Like a 96 vet.
like an 88 IROC Z.
Paid extra.
Oh, yeah.
Got the AC and cassette deck in this one.
We did, though. We had booked a rental car, and a couple weeks ago, Annette was like, hey, we got to book a rental car for when we're in Jersey. So I had just kept putting it off. So she finally went on to Kayak or whatever, and she was just looking at prices. She's like, man, they're really expensive. Like, I don't know.
Rental cars?
Yeah. Like $80 a day, $90 a day or something.
How else are you going to pick up ladies at the shore?
Yeah, exactly. So we're like, well, that kind of sucks, but whatever. Let's just, because originally we had thought, oh, it'd be cool since we're going to be summertime, we're going to be at the beach. It would be nice to have a convertible. We were looking at them, and they were too expensive. So we're like, screw it. Let's just get the economy car. We'll get a convertible.
Got your
next
FAO.
time. Yeah, or a Chevy Spark or something like that.
Your 2 seats. And you have to sit leaning forward because your one bag still is encroaching on the seat.
Yeah, and the other bag is on Annette's lap in the passenger seat. So we get to the rental car desk, and the woman says they do the same thing every time. Oh, would you like to upgrade? And I was like, yes, as long as that upgrade costs me the same amount that I'm paying right now, I'll take a convertible. And she's like, well, we do have some convertibles. Not acknowledging that I said as long as
price. Yeah.
So she's like, oh, we have a 2018 Ford Mustang. And I was like, for the same price? She's like, oh, no. It was like, I don't know, $30 more a day or something.
Ooh.
And we're going to be there for 5 days.
It's too much.
So
it would be nice, but yeah.
I was like, no thanks. And then I look at Annette, and she's like, come on, we never do anything fun like this.
Oh, God.
I'm like, well, now I look like a chump.
As a reminder, you guys went to Jamaica for your honeymoon.
Yeah.
You bought garage door openers.
Yeah, who says I don't do anything fun?
Yeah. What do you want from me, lady? Whining and dining and like daisies and roses fun every day?
So, feeling as though my manhood was challenged, I said, you know something, Charlotte, or whatever the woman's name was, I'm going to take that Ford Mustang off your hands. So we got a Ford Mustang.
You paid the extra.
Paid the freight, got a convertible.
Oh, God, we got to sell these ads at a higher rate than we have been now, don't we?
Let me tell you, it was such a good decision.
Really?
We had great weather, and from Newark down to Ocean City, it's a 2-hour drive. And
you're in there a while.
So we were on the Parkway. It was the sunniest day, and even stopped by the old alma mater, Monmouth University.
You
stopped there.
The Eagles.
The Hawks.
The Fighting Hawks.
The Hawks. Just the Hawks.
Kind of wimpy.
And got down to Ocean City. Yeah, we spent some time in Atlantic City.
Yes, that's why I bring it up.
Saw a Springsteen cover band.
The B Street Band.
B Street Band. They were good.
The cover band of all Springsteen cover bands, right?
They were good.
Has anybody dressed up like...
No.
Really?
No, their whole thing is that they are a musical tribute to Springsteen. They don't try to, like, you know, a guitar player doesn't dress like Steven Van Zandt with, like, the bandanas. Like, they just all... But the crazy thing is, the lead singer, I think because he's been doing it so long, he's kind of started to look like Springsteen. Like, you know how Springsteen has, like, that kind of, like, underbite?
Yeah.
And if you've ever been to a Springsteen concert, he has certain mannerisms that he does. And this guy was doing all of them. I don't know if it was intentional or he's just such a fan that it's just become part of his...
Yeah, he's doing his homework.
Like, part of his performance, but they were great.
Really?
Yeah.
How long did they play?
We didn't stay... Originally, it was supposed to be me and Annette, my brother... and his wife Carla, and
my buddy,
and my sister, and her husband Brian.
Yeah.
And then my brother had to get an emergency root canal that night.
What is the deal with your brother's body ruining fun things?
Seriously.
No, I was supposed to meet him at the bachelor party. Now, if I meet him at the bachelor party, odds are good I end up staying the night on this pile of pillows that Frank ordered me from the desk. Instead, I drive home
80%
in slumber across the state. Now, maybe I stay, if your brother's there, I meet, but no, heart attack, snooze. So he can't make it. He makes it to the wedding. It's all good. And now you're telling me you travel to your Mecca. You go home. Mm-hmm. The World Cup. It's coming home, Steve. You went home. And he made up some crazy emergency root canal to not visit with you again.
Well, he had gotten... he had to get a root canal. So he was at the dentist the week before. And I guess, for whatever reason, they did a partial root canal. And then they had him scheduled to come back this week.
Okay.
Well, around Wednesday of last week, we got there on Wednesday, and I think it was Thursday, he woke up and was just like, he was in excruciating pain. Called the dentist. They're like, sorry, we can't get you in tonight. Or we can't get you in at all today. But they referred him to another dentist, or he found another dentist that took his insurance that has like after hours time.
Yeah.
He got in the chair for a root canal at like 11:15 Thursday night and was in the chair until about 1 in the morning.
What did the dentist do? Did they do like the half root canal where they just drilled down into the center and thought, yeah, see you next week?
Yeah. Well, sorry.
And call it good?
That's all we got time for tonight.
Oh, you're not going to... Union. Time for a break.
So he didn't get to go to the show. So we weren't even... gonna still go, and then at the last minute we were like, something, let's at least go to AC and we'll get dinner at least.
Yeah.
So on the way there we're like, well, screw it, let's just go to,
hey, if you're already gonna be there,
we'll go to the casino. They were at like the Golden Nugget.
Mm-hmm.
So we go there. It took us a while to find out exactly, because they were playing on like an outdoor deck. So we got there. We only stayed for about a half hour or 45 minutes.
Okay.
And then we were both starving, so made our way back inside and sat down, had an excellent meal at like the Asian place. Mm-hmm. Very good. And then on the way out, Hot Hand Annette decided she's going to play some slots.
Oh, she's feeling lucky. Yeah. Okay.
So she had a crisp 20, fed it into the Titanic slot machine.
Nice machine. I've played it before.
Every time you hit the button, the Celine Dion song plays.
It starts playing for a
second.
second.
If you're playing for more than 4 minutes... I have to imagine it gets pretty annoying. We turned that $20 into $45.
Hey!
Cash out.
You're darn right. Drinks paid for.
Hit the road and gave all the employees the finger on our way out the door.
Darn right. You took them.
You're not going to stop this whale. Look at this guy.
You couldn't even comp me a room
Got
to stay.
all the money.
Yeah.
All the money.
So by the way, I do want to bring this up. Do you think your brother bailing on you has anything to do, any residuals from you not understanding his employment situation, that rift that we opened on the podcast?
That didn't come up at all. And
that didn't?
No, it kind of makes me think that maybe that was...
We need to close... Listen, we need to get you, your brother, dead Jack, and missing Ray in a line, and we need to do... like a Steve makeup session. With who else, man? I know a big one. That's never going to happen. But let's get...
Yeah.
There's
a lot of other people.
Let's get those 4 idiots, or Mike and those other idiots, in a line, and we'll fix everything. I'll therapy you guys.
You'll therapy us?
We'll therapize you. And I'll fix you and Mike from you not knowing your brother switched jobs 4 years ago.
Okay.
I'll fix you and possibly Ghost Jack for wishing he was dead 20 years ago, and now he is.
No, I never wished he was dead.
And you,
I simply...
Hey, stop interrupting. And then you and Ray from whatever went down there, and we're going to fix them all.
That one would never be fixed.
You know that you and Ray could be fixed?
Not a chance. No. Ray did some mean things.
All right.
He did some terrible things.
I just can't kick this idea.
Hold on, I gotta see if Jack has updated Facebook.
Since the 1 year we began talking about Jack. Now, if you're a radio show listener that started listening recently and you haven't heard this story, I would recommend going back to find it, because it was a shock to my system. Steve's former boss at his was that your first job? One of your first jobs?
It was. I think it was my second job.
His name was Jack, and Steve was a real teenage jerk-off to this poor guy who was just trying to provide for his family. And the crowning moment was where he came up and said something.
He complimented me.
Yeah.
He said it because we never got along for whatever reason. Probably because I was a stupid 16-year-old kid and I had an attitude. But he, because I was in like the program at school where you go to school for the first half of the day and then you leave and go to work. So my work affected school. Like if I didn't do well at work, it meant that I got a bad grade at school. So it was like double bad. So I had gotten a bad review like mid-semester. And so I really like put my nose to the grindstone. I was like, I'm going to show this guy I can work.
Yeah.
So for like the next 2 months, I did everything perfectly. I went above and beyond.
Yeah.
Like, hello, Mrs. Jones. How are you today?
Ironing your shirts.
Yeah, everything. Yeah, extra starch.
Yeah.
And so he took notice, and he came up to me one day, and he said, Steve, I just want to say I've noticed a great improvement in your work in the last couple of months.
And now, normally I'd say, thanks, Jack. I appreciate that.
I appreciate you noticing. I've been trying hard.
Anybody else say something similar? What did you say, Steve?
I'm not doing anything different.
Now, I've seen pictures of you from that era. Well, probably from just past that era. I'm
God,
sure you...
It kills me.
Did you flip your hair back?
I didn't flip my hair back. I still remember the look on his face when he just said, okay, and just walked away.
Poor Jack.
My God. This guy was like, he went out of his way to be nice to me.
Yeah.
He didn't have to do that.
No.
Even my boss. No boss has to be like, hey, good job today, Kyle. You really did.
Yeah.
You did great. I mean, sure, it's nice when they do, but he's under no obligation to tell me that. I work for him.
And especially to a 16-year-old, like you said, who there's very little chance that you're going to be there in 3, 5 years, 1 year even.
Yeah.
At that point, he'd be better off not knowing your name. And in hindsight, I'm sure he would prefer to have not known your name. So you acted like a jerk to Jack, never mended that fence, and he's probably dead now. He hasn't updated Facebook in how long?
7 years.
7 years? Jack's been dead for 7 years?
He's not been dead. He is living in Naples, Florida, according to this.
Yeah. I guess that's where you put your ashes when you're gone.
So you think that his ashes are living in Naples?
Yeah, someone updated?
Well,
come visit Jack.
I'll give you an idea of how long it's been since old Jack has been on Facebook.
Type out his last name for me.
It's right up here on the Jumbotron. He doesn't even have the cover photo. So Facebook added the cover photo at least like 6 years ago.
That profile picture. Oh boy.
What?
No, I have an update.
Oh no. Please don't tell me you have an obituary.
January 8th, 2018. Complications from Parkinson's disease. Riverton, New Jersey.
Oh.
We missed him. We missed him by 6 months.
No.
6
Let me
months.
see. Let me see. Does it have a picture?
No, just the candle. 6 months yesterday. Would that be about? Let me try to pull up the age, and maybe that'll.
Yeah, because man, that he seems. Well, he.
Nope, that's him. Naples, Florida. You missed it by 6 months, Steve.
That really bums me out.
No, I'm not going to say the joke I want to say because it's very crude.
Nope, I would appreciate it if you didn't.
6 months yesterday. We talked about this when he was alive.
Yeah.
We joked about getting him on the phone, and in hindsight, we could have. Oh, God. Do we want to uplift the room and see if Ray died? Anyone else you want to see?
Oh, yeah, that's definitely him. Enjoyed a long career at blank.
Mm-hmm.
Parkinson's.
I am sorry. I did not mean to bring that up and bring the...
Wow, I actually, for a minute, I forgot that we were still recording.
Yeah. No, that'll...
Wow.
I apologize for bringing it down. I did not expect to see, when I typed in that man's name, the first link to say obituary.
Yeah, that's a bummer.
I'll just take those memories of you guys to the grave, like I'm sure he did. Happy. Steve whipping his hair back.
Hey folks, viewer mail time again. Oh, here's one from Sally, age 14. Dear Pig.
Yeah, we got a letter from our friend Buddy saying good job with the podcast. So moving on.
So you're over in Atlantic City, and your wife bets. Now I get a text. Now this must have been before you had traveled there. 9:51, I get a text from you.
No,
this
was while we were sitting at dinner.
Okay. Give me a sports bet to place. Now, for me, you might as well have said, please open this Christmas gift that I got you without you knowing, because that is a joy. So my mind immediately runs to the World Cup. The World Cup's going on. At that point, it was down to the quarterfinals. The semifinals games were going on.
So that's what sport you were talking about.
So I'm looking, and I'm perusing for you, Steve. And I perused for all of 20 minutes. And I came back with some notes. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
The text chain, I'll just read the World Cup ones first. France, England, Croatia to advance. Guess what?
They all did?
3 for 3. Now,
I'm surprised you didn't pick our old friend Bosnia.
Yeah, boy, not even an option. I don't know what their problem is. Maybe there's still some hurt feelings between the sports book and Bosnia, but I couldn't even pick them. Now, granted, France, big favorite. England, decent favorite. Croatia, kind of a pick 'em against Russia. Croatia ends up knocking off Russia in penalty kicks, Steve. I was biting my fingernails for you.
Okay.
I also say, because there's a UFC on Saturday night, pay-per-view. Now, this was the light heavyweight champion, Daniel Cormier, versus the heavyweight champion, Stipe Miocic.
Stipe.
Going up in weight class.
Okay.
So he's an underdog, Daniel Cormier. And I say, take Daniel Cormier to win, and over on the 3.5 rounds it's going to take him to win.
That's where you lost me. I don't know what that means.
So a title fight like that's 5 rounds.
Okay.
So that bet is saying, will the fight go more or less than 3.5 rounds?
So if you take the over, that means it's going to go more than
4
3.5.
or 5 rounds. Okay. And if you bet the under, you would bet that it will be done in the first, second, or third round.
Okay.
And I said, if you're feeling extra squirrely, Steve, you can bet on the co-main event, which is Francis Ngannou versus Derek Lewis.
Mm-hmm.
I said, take Derek Lewis to win. I even followed up. I said, you know what? If you want to go light, bet the Cormier-Miocic fight and France. I said, Derek Lewis is a big underdog. Well, Steve, I'm waiting for my cut because I gave you 5 out of 6 winners. Croatia advances. France advances. England advances. Cormier wins in an upset. Derek Lewis wins. Huge upset. The only bet I didn't hit was the over-under on 3.5 rounds.
Yeah.
I would have bet the over. It went under. Hindsight, poor bet because they're heavyweights. Not a lot of them go 5 rounds because they're bigger fellas. So, feed Daddy. How much did we make?
Well, before I tell you how much we made,
because you're in the casino,
yeah,
and it's legal now over there.
It is
sports betting, so you probably Annette's looking at Jack and Rose on the edge of the boat, and you say, "Hey, Toots, I'm gonna walk over to the book and get myself an old fashioned."
Papa's got to go bet on the ponies.
Yeah, and you go over there and you show, because you don't understand it, you show my phone to the person, and they make all the bets for us, and we're in the black. What's up?
First of all, couldn't really find the area that I had to go to for that. And
that's a poor also, so you asked somebody.
Also, didn't really look for it.
So, you asked me for bets to place.
Yeah, in my defense, though, like most casinos, my cell phone reception, like I was able to send that text after I hit try again, like 6 times. So it finally went through. I didn't even get your responses until we were walking like through the parking garage. So unfortunately, we didn't make any money. But here's what I'm thinking.
Listen, heaters don't just come, Steve.
Look, stick with me on this. We take that money that we raised on the GoFundMe, $490, $500 because we're throwing in.
We're going to match because we're good people.
Well, we're not going to match. We're going to round up.
We're going to round up. That's what we're sorry. That's more accurate.
So we take $500.
Yeah.
What do you think? Do you think that the listeners to this podcast would be in support of this? We take that $500, go to a casino,
Sure.
go up to a roulette wheel.
Oh, you want to do roulette?
Yeah, but the catch is, it's got to be all on red,
All on red or black?
all on black,
Yeah.
one spin. So we're going double or nothing.
I'll say this. There's no chance our listeners are in support of that.
All right.
I'm all in.
If you're in support of that, okay, we need to know hashtag
Red or black?
billboard roulette.
Yes. Hashtag. Now, that's a lot of letters.
Yeah, hashtag billboard roulette.
Yes. Tweet that at us as well as your idea for the billboard while you're at it.
Yeah. But we need to know, are you in support of us gambling your money?
Now, I thought...
No, I think that most people would be in support of it because for the most part, we have $10 donations, $15 donations, $20 donations. The only idiot that gave us more than that is Zach, who gave us a $100 donation.
And he's suspended anyway.
Yeah. So, really, we're just asking, Zach, are you in support of this?
Yeah, everybody else, take it or leave it.
Yeah, sorry. You know, you don't like it. You know what you're getting? Big old glass of pond scum.
Get that tea mug out. We got a hot batch for you. Pond scum coming your way. Now let me ask you,
Hey,
Steve.
barkeep.
If you were to place a bet, now I gave you 6 bets. Let's say you place them all. What would you have done? $5 a piece, $10 a piece?
Yeah, I think so. I probably would have no more than $50 total. So
Okay, so let's call it 50, 10
Yeah.
each on that. Whatever.
Yeah.
Let's just say it's 10 each. Let's see. If you had bet. Yeah. Yeah, I would have won us about $200.
Okay. Yeah, but to me, $200, it still wouldn't have been worth it to me because of the embarrassment of not knowing how to do anything when I go up to the window.
Well, and if
I
you
would
had
have
followed up,
Hello, hi, sir. One sports bet, please.
if you had followed up with me, I would have literally put in quotes a script for you to talk to the guy, so you would have felt very comfortable.
But see, the problem is, what if there's a follow-up question?
Yeah.
What if he says, like,
You say you got to go.
oh,
to
you want a 2-to-1 double down?
You claim you have irritable bowel syndrome. Run away and call me.
I have irritable bowel syndrome. I'll be right back.
And you sprint.
Yeah.
And you
Or,
call me.
Oh, you know what I should have done? I should have had an earpiece in.
Oh, yeah, we could have done it.
I don't know how well that would go over in a casino, though.
Yeah, you might get some looks. Yeah, I think, and then that's minimum. On the Francis Ngannou, Derek Lewis fight, which again was the undercard, or was the underdog I told you to bet, he's going off at plus 240. Now, Steve, I know you know, but for all the idiots out there who don't know what that means, that means if you bet 100, you would have won 240. Now, that's in addition to your original bet, so you'd have gotten back 340 if you had bet that. So $50, you would have won 170, gotten 220 back. Just on that one. I mean, that's, again, without the 3 soccer winners I told you about. That's without the other UFC winner I told you about. I guess, because you said roulette. I thought you were just going to put the 500 in my hands and say, go on a heater again.
No. I think it has to be an all or
total
nothing.
chance, 49 point whatever percent to 49 point whatever percent.
Incredible.
Oh, I'd hate every second of it.
I know, me too. But
I've
we
done that.
We have casinos. We could be at a casino in 40 minutes.
Yeah, I've done that with 20s. There's me and a couple of my friends. Like, hey, let's each put 20 in, put it all in red, see what happens. It's not fun. I don't like it.
No.
I love gambling, but I hate that. Okay, so you turned down my mini heater. You cost us some money. You cost APS 4.0 a lot of money, I think, is what
I don't know about that.
is important to say. Right?
No.
You don't think that's...
No.
Okay. No. I mean, could have been studio money. Could have been mic arm money. We've been talking about that for 2 years.
Yeah. Could have been not plastic table money.
Could have been. We could have gotten rid of the zip ties and the plastic table all in one shot, man. Could have been living the high life. The day's going to come where we got a guest in here and they're going to go, "This is what you've been doing for 100 plus?"
This is nice. Yeah. That's why we haven't bid on that Jimmy Pardo guest on your podcast.
Next year, that's the year, man. Next year's our year for that.
Yeah?
That's happening.
Okay.
It's happening. So, okay. Well, I just wanted to check. You know, I assumed you'd have either a money order for me or...
Yeah, that's how I'd pay you.
Maybe, yeah.
In a money order.
A cashier's check. A Western Union.
Yeah.
Delivered to my house, perhaps.
Yeah.
Maybe Sacagaweas.
Western Union's telegrams.
What do I need for that? Just a fax machine?
Yep, that's how you get telegrams.
So you call me, say, "Hey, old buddy, turn on the fax machine." And I fire it up, and I get a printout of a check.
Yeah, it comes on a scroll.
And then I hook that to my pigeon, and he takes it to the bank.
Yeah, that's exactly how it works.
Oh, boy. Time, we're okay. Another thing I wanted to talk about, I had actually forgotten to write it down. I posted a couple pictures from this setting, talked about it, boy, it must have been 4 or 5 months ago, right?
Wait a minute, hold on. I have an intro for this segment.
Oh, you do?
Yes.
Do you want me to rebuild it for a second while you pull it up, or are you ready?
No, I got it right here. I opened it before we even started recording.
Man. Boy, we've been talking about this for a while, Steve.
That's it.
I forgot. That was an argument about what musical instrument that was.
I don't even remember what the options were. I don't remember
believe
what I
that
said.
has to have been... I think that's like a kick drum.
Yeah, that sounds about right. Did I disagree?
I believe my wife thought that was a guitar.
Like a bass guitar?
Yeah.
So you're talking about like the dun,
yeah,
dun,
the actual
dun.
downbeat.
Yeah, that's a kick drum.
That's what I thought. So
I feel like we disagreed on this on the podcast, though.
Maybe I've changed my opinion.
Maybe I've changed my opinion. Somebody can go back and figure it out.
This is all for the Loose Ends episode.
Hashtag Kesha Loose Ends.
Yeah, hashtag. If you know, now we have listeners out there. Like Nikki knows a lot more about this show than we do, and we record it once a week. If you happen to know that, please let us know, because there's a good chance one of us 100% reversed our opinion.
Well, obviously one of us had to have, because I know for a fact we didn't agree.
We got a net on to figure it out. I remember that.
Did we really?
Yes, because she's our music expert. Wow.
Okay.
I don't know how it weighed in. Hashtag Kesha Loose Ends. A lot to talk about this week with the listeners.
Yeah.
Please help us out, for crying out loud. Yeah, I had the big Kesha show on Friday, Steve. And now I am an unabashed Kesha fan.
Right.
I think her music is outstanding.
I believe that a couple of months ago when you said that you were going to the show, I inadvertently insulted you.
I don't even... Actually, I do. I think it was inadvertent. You said... Now, you're comfortable being that creepy old guy or whatever you had said. Yeah, that was in an intro, and I still have that. I definitely still have that audio piece somewhere.
So when you sent me a picture on was it Saturday night?
Friday night.
Yeah, Friday night of you there on the floor at the Kesha show with the caption or with the follow-up text, "My girl," I replied, "Old, creepy, loser, virgin." To which you replied, "So proud."
Yeah, man. Listen. Her newest album, nominated for a couple of Grammys, total different change, and I listened to her from when she was straight party rock, talking about brushing her teeth with Jack Daniels. And
now, does she still do that?
She plays it.
I was gonna say she.
I don't enjoy it.
No.
Well, I get the impression from this show, and I have some gripes to talk about with you.
Okay.
I get the impression that when she plays the old stuff, the party pops, super poppy stuff, which her music is still poppy, she wants to get it over with, because it's like if I listen to her music at 1.5 speed, it's just super fast.
Yeah.
And that is not fun. It's hard to, you got people who want to sing along with that.
Yeah.
It's weird. So that's my impression I got from it, which was...
I would think that that's pretty normal with especially with a pop artist.
Yeah.
But she didn't do it in like, hey, we're going to do a montage of the hits. Where it was just like, where she goes from one of her poppy hits right into another, and then.
Yeah.
So
No,
she's there because she wants to be. I mean, obviously, she's older, so her career is evolving. Her style is evolving. It's understandable.
And this tour is a bit different. She hasn't recorded new music in 5 years before this newest album. Obviously, a lot of personal issues and legal issues with her record label and sexual assault allegations that have gone through the courts. So this album was very it seemed very cathartic for her. The song "Praying," it was all over the radio. It's all about this situation. Let me just ask you these very few questions, Steve, just about concerts in general. Now, I've been to a lot. You've been to many more than I have. You guys promote them with your side gig occasionally. You're out there. What time does usually a main artist take? What's the earliest you've seen a main artist take the stage? Not a festival setting.
The earliest?
Yeah, not a festival setting. A regular concert, main act, lights go down, beat starts to play. They're hitting the stage. Just from memory, just a general guess. What would you think?
Well, when I go to because you went to a concert it was at the arena,
10,000
people. Yeah, so minor league hockey arena. I would expect something there. The main act would not start before, I would say, 9:30, 10 o'clock.
Okay.
The earliest I've seen, probably 8, maybe.
How long? Now, you've seen Springsteen.
Yeah.
Man is known for notoriously long
3+ hours.
You've seen smaller acts, new acts. On average, how long does a main act play their set?
If I get less than 90 minutes from a main act, I'm pretty disappointed. I would say typically you should play between 90 minutes, like an hour and a half, hour and 45 minutes would probably be pretty normal.
Now, do you think a lot of them have numbers of songs, and you can usually 90 minutes? I'm guessing is probably 15 songs ish.
Yeah, I would say 15 to 20. Because you figure there's going to be some chit chat in between songs. Hey, thanks for coming out. We love you. This song I wrote when I was blah blah blah.
Well, let's talk chit chat for a moment while I pull this up, because Kesha's chit chat, and now granted, she might very well be getting used to it, being back out on the road again, right? She hasn't been touring again very long, but every piece of chit chat between every song was the same. You are effing amazing. There's so much love in here. This is effing amazing. That's it. Every time. Okay. To the point where Katie, who likes Kesha as well, probably not as much as me, is looking at me and going, yeah, this is effing amazing. Because it's that noticeable. It's like her go-to line, right?
Right.
So maybe she's a bit out of it. So, Steve, I submit to you the idea. The first ever concert, because her opening act is an EDM person who just presses play on his iPod and fake scratches records, right?
Right.
So, you know what? I've never done this before. Let's just get there late. We don't need to be there for this person. We have floor seats.
Yeah.
They're on an aisle. I don't need to bug anybody.
Nope.
We walk in. We sit down. Let's go get dinner. Relax. No rush. That at 7:58, the lights are dimming while my wife's in the bathroom. And she starts walking out. I go, we got to hurry up. It's going, the lights are down.
Yeah.
It's going to be hard to find our seats already. 8 p.m. she's on stage.
Wow.
8.
I would have been an hour late.
Right. I didn't. I had a friend in attendance, somebody I work with, and we were already, he goes, yeah, this guy just wrapped up. And I was like, well, that's a bit odd. It's 7:30. That's early. He just, the doors opened.
Maybe there's a second.
That's what I thought. I was like, oh, there's got to be another opening. He goes, no, it doesn't look like it. It's like, all right, well, we better start heading over there. So we start walking, and I'm still in no rush until I see the lights go down. So 8 p.m. she's on the stage, Steve. 11 songs. 1 hour and 5 minutes.
Whoa. That I would have felt very ripped off.
2-song encore.
Okay.
In total.
So she played 9 songs, and then...
No. So 11 plus 2. So it was 13 total.
Okay.
From when we got into our seat to when I was walking to our car, it was less than 90 minutes. 13 total songs.
When you said 11, I thought you were going to say 11:15. That's when she played until.
I was expecting that because a podcast I listened to, we've talked about it, Never Not Funny with Jimmy Pardo. They're Kesha fans. They went to Kesha, whatever, LA arena.
Staples Center, probably.
They said she didn't take the stage till 10:20. Now, that was the tour with Macklemore. Mm-hmm. But it looks like she's taking the exact same set list from her Macklemore tour, cutting out the one song she has with Macklemore because he's not there to sing it, and doing it at 8 p.m. and getting on the bus by 9:30.
Wow, what a life.
And this is with 3 costume changes that totaled 12 to 15 minutes.
So total time performing. Like
1 hour.
Total time that she was singing.
Ooh, 50? Less?
Probably.
And I was telling you a little bit of this before recording. I like Kesha. I enjoyed it. It's not something that I'm totally comfortable like jumping around at. Now, there's this girl who I could have swore was 16 wearing a mesh top and a bra behind us. She must have been over 16 because she was drinking her sister's beer, who is sitting there when Kesha starts talking about the song Praying because somebody had a sign in the audience. She was, oh my God, she's got to play it. She's got to play it. I'm going to cry. I'm going to cry. She has to play it. I'm going to cry. I'm going to cry. And then 5 minutes later, that's it. I am in love with Kesha. I'm in love with her. Like, just going bananas. I take a picture. No, I said we're on an aisle. I posted this picture on her Twitter at Stephen Kyle as well. I take a picture of next to us in the aisle, a woman wearing tight clothing, which, again, I don't care, whatever you're comfortable in, but decided, you know what? I'm a little too formal. Let me kick off the shoes on this concrete floor of a concert venue. What are you doing?
So, obviously soaked with beer.
Oh, it has
and
to
other drinks that people have spilled.
Oh, it's so gross. And now, and there's
that's like going into a restroom with your shoes off.
Yeah, and there's a song where before she starts playing it, I believe it's about. I think it's actually called. Let me look. Take It Off. Yeah. Where she gives a whole spiel about I can't start the song until somebody throws an item of their clothing up on stage, and sure enough, before she even finishes the sentence, a woman's bra is hanging over her neck, and then it's this weird bum rush to the stage
to throw
anything, shirts, underwear. There's everything.
That's so odd that.
You know what? I guess every artist has their thing you're playing.
Yeah.
And in my mind, the whole time this song's playing, I'm remembering when I was a kid, or when I was that age. And I don't know if you remembered, if it was past or before your time, P.D. Pablo.
I don't know.
North Carolina, Raise Up, Come On and Take Your Shirt Off.
Oh, yeah.
In my mind, I'm thinking concerts of that must have been the same thing. Or Nelly, Hot in Here, Take Your Clothes Off. It has to have been the same thing, you know? It's
probably.
So I look at that and I go, you know what? It's fine. They're having fun. If they're comfortable walking out of here in a mesh top with no bra, so be it.
Hey, who are you to judge?
Yeah. But yeah, I would guess total time singing, 50 minutes tops.
That's insulting.
I was a bit bummed. Now, granted, I got in early on these tickets. We had floor tickets. I don't know if I mentioned. About 15, 20 rows out, right on the aisle. Beautiful seats. Loved them. Got them week that they went on sale. Got them for face value, $50-some. I couldn't believe the deal. Mm-hmm. Now I can believe it. This is my Jeep. This is my deal of the century that you got. It turns out it was just an okay price for something that I got.
You basically paid like $1 a minute for that show.
Yeah. Absolutely.
So for every minute that you were sitting there, somebody was reaching into your pocket and taking $1 out.
I'd never left a concert before any show. Now, granted, I'm not this weird globe-trotting concert goer where it's light out.
Oh, yeah, because it's summertime.
It's not a festival, so it's not like I went to see a person play the 3 p.m. on stage C.
Right.
It's a nighttime concert.
I didn't even think about that.
It's light out. When I'm going to get, I go, we can watch a movie tonight.
Yeah, you probably, it was probably, if you had left and gone straight home, it would have still been light out when you got home.
Oh, we did. We made it home before 10 o'clock. It was light out. was able to watch a movie. Yeah, it was a bit disappointing, and I don't know if it, but I'd looked before that at her set list, because I'm not one, I don't need to be surprised, like, oh, what are they going to play? No, I don't care. And I already know it's going to be a bit disappointing, because there's a lot of old songs off her new album, which is whatever, 10 or 12 tracks. Plays 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Everything else is cover of Dolly Parton. Everything else is old.
Wow, 13 songs and she put a cover in there?
Yeah, Jolene from Dolly Parton, which was fine. Again, I'm there to enjoy what you want to do. She's shooting her confetti cannons, and so out of curiosity, because I am, I'm a certain way. Like I said, I'm not the one jumping around at that show. I'm really enjoying the music, even though her voice was much less in shape than it probably is normally. Like, she was not hitting any high notes. She wasn't. It was. I'm sure she was uncomfortable. She was drinking a lot of water, but. I forget where I was even going with this.
Confetti cannons?
Oh, yeah. Well, afterwards, I decide, you know what? It's on Twitter or Instagram, and I see, the hashtag Kesha Grenner apps. Like, click out. Maybe it's everybody. Kesha's the queen. Oh, my God. That was the greatest thing ever. Kids now are being conditioned to think an hour to an hour and 10 minutes is what you should get.
That's remarkable.
I mean, one of my bucket list items is to see Bruce Springsteen, and I need to do that soon. Not that I'm not going to be worried about him, but he's in his 60s.
He's in his 70s.
He's in his 70s, I'm hearing.
I think.
Maybe he might 60s. Be in his 60s. Bruce Springsteen's old, and that's the bottom line of what we're saying here. Yeah. I need to get on that.
Find out.
Like, let's say somebody Friday night goes to that Kesha show. And they're online saying, yes, queen.
68, by the way.
68 years old. They're online giving all this typical comments about how she's their idol, whatever, and how the show is incredible and changed their lives. Saturday night, they turn around and go to Springsteen. Are they tweeting or Instagramming halfway through saying how bored they are and how is this still going on?
Boy, I'd imagine, first of all, that the crossover between Kesha and Springsteen...
It's me.
Yeah,
You found him.
You're the center of the Venn diagram. Like, you're the not quite blue color, but also not quite red color.
Yeah, there can't be very much happening there. Now, I was happy to see that. I was not the oldest one there, not the only man there. Okay. There were gentlemen in the rows in front of me, and they were enjoying it. There was a group of guys behind us, 2 guys, 2 girls, 1 guy drunk enough. He's sprinting up and down the aisle singing the songs, loving it. I just wasn't. That's just not me at a concert. I don't know. Is that what people are predisposed to now? Like, sets short?
I think so.
Is it a festival mindset?
That's terrible. Because the last show that I was at, I don't really consider the B Street Band. That was because that was in like a bar setting.
Yeah.
But we went to a show at the outdoor amphitheater like 2 weeks ago.
Sure.
And it was a Old Crow Medicine show.
Yeah.
And they played for probably close to 2 hours, and it was like nonstop. I mean, it was really high energy whole time. And there wasn't a lot of... I mean, they do some talking, but for the most part, they're talking over the intros to their songs.
Mm-hmm. Oh, man.
But yeah, an hour and 5 minutes?
Yeah, that's my... Yeah, I mean, take out the encore. Yeah.
That's terrible.
I was just so offended. Like, I guess I shouldn't say that. Like I said, I'm a Kesha fan. For what we paid for it, should I have gotten more? In my mind, sure.
Yeah.
I still enjoyed seeing her and enjoyed the show for that.
Would you go back though? If she came back here, would you go back to?
I'd read set list first.
Yeah.
I would look at the set list for whatever tour she's on. I'd see the opening act, because at that point, listen, I'm not a Macklemore fan, but I like Macklemore's music. If that's Kesha Macklemore, I don't have any problems with what I saw Friday night.
Mm-hmm.
But like I said, it's like she transported her duo set list that she's doing with Macklemore, just started at 8 and called it good. That's not the way to do it. You have to make it a show of your own. So, yeah, a bit disappointing, but if she's in the area and the price is right, I would recommend seeing her, because she puts on a pretty fun show, shoots confetti cannons at you, and talks about glitter on her chest, and it's a weird show in terms of the crowd and her, man. She's a goofy person.
All right, real quickly before we get to the Fast Five while we're talking about it, boy, do Kyle and I have a deal for you. if you want to go see the Zac Brown Band. Now, it sounds like we're promoting a contest that we're doing here, but we're not. What we're promoting is an opportunity to buy our tickets because we bought 4 tickets thinking that me and Annette, you and Katie would all go. And I think 1 minute after we bought them, our friend decided to get married on that day, which is this Saturday. So we cannot use those tickets. So
July 15th.
If anybody is interested in, I'll just speak for myself. If anyone is interested in my Zac Brown Band tickets, I know
14th.
Based on StubHub that I will not get nearly what I bought them for.
Yeah.
Boy, is that terrible. Paid I think they were $60 face value each.
Plus.
So that's $120 right there, plus the Ticketmaster charges on top of that. Bring it up to, I think I paid $157 for 2 tickets, which really hurts. I'm just looking to make some money off of them,
a few dollars. Now,
but obviously you gotta be here in Grand Rapids because the way that Ticketmaster does it, they don't make
Ticketmaster. Or the website Katie told me they're on is listen.
They don't make it easy. They don't make it easy to transfer the tickets, and I'm assuming that's to combat
bots,
scalping and stuff like that. They don't want to. They want the person who buys the tickets to actually go to the show. So we actually have to print them out
and deliver,
and hand deliver them to somebody. So if anybody wants my tickets, make me a reasonable offer, and they're yours.
If that doesn't entice you, let me pile on. Now, what do the best infomercials do, Steve? Right at the end.
But wait, there's more.
You're darn right there's more. We're going to double your offer today, Steve.
Yay!
If you don't want 2 tickets to Zac Brown Band, you think, no, that's not good for me. How about 4?
So you're questioning now whether you... Now, look, if you just buy my 2 tickets, the bonus is you get to sit next to Kyle and Katie.
No. Those get thrown in the garbage.
Okay. You do not get to sit next to Kyle and Katie.
Or you get 2 tickets for the low price of nothing. Listen, if you're 2 people, if you're 4 people and you're hearing this and you go, boy, that'd be fun to see.
Yeah.
Go ahead, send us an offer. The seats aren't great.
I am bummed that I don't get to go to the show. I was looking forward to it.
Yeah, I enjoy them. The Zac Brown Band, I've seen them once before. They're very fun. I love their music. What I don't love is the drive to the other side of the state, as well as drive back from the other side of the state. And part of the reason we were going, that's normally a show I'd look at and go, yeah, that'd be fun. I'll wait till they come around here.
And the worst thing is, I think it was our idea. I think that Annette had said, hey, Zac Brown Band is going to be in Detroit. We should see if Kyle and Katie want to go.
Oh, was it?
And then, or maybe we had talked about it in advance. I don't know. But then 1 minute later, oh, we got a wedding that day.
And I remember the way it went down because Katie said, hey, Zac Brown Band in Detroit in July, whatever. We should go. I said, yeah, let's talk about it. And then 30 seconds later, I got, all right, seats bought. wait, hang on.
All
what?
right, cool.
I guess we're going. So it'll be fine. But if you're interested in 2 or 4 Zac Brown Band tickets for Saturday, Comerica Park. It's in the beautiful city of Detroit. It's going to be a hot one. Dress accordingly.
It will be.
Zac Brown Band, possibly with 3 of your closest friends, possibly with 1 of your closest friends, and me and my wife. Oh, yes! Late in the game, shot from half court, and he nails it.
That one actually knocked me back in my seat.
He absolutely crushes it. Now, the streak was broken last week. We didn't have any last week.
But you had one last week, didn't you?
I didn't mark it. That was 2 weeks ago I had one.
Okay. Man, the streak.
It's over.
It started up again, though.
Yeah, beautiful.
All right, so, hey, if you're looking for Zac Brown tickets for Saturday, what is it, the 14th?
Saturday, July 14th,
Saturday,
Detroit,
July
Michigan.
14th, Comerica Park, Detroit, Michigan.
Send us a note.
Send us a Facebook message, facebook.com/Steve and Kyle, or on Twitter @Steve and Kyle, and we will work out something.
Fast 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
All right, man, we got to get this done quickly. I think we can do it.
Yeah, by the way, they can email you as well. Steve@freebeerandhotwings.com.
That's right.
That works just as well, and you'll probably see that in the mornings at work if that's easier to email. All right, the Thai Cave Rescue.
This is one of the craziest stories I've ever heard.
It's surreal. And
the hell? What? And it's totally normal for the soccer coach to say, hey, let's go cave exploring.
What's going on here? Is there going to be another story that comes out like later about like
I don't
soccer coach
think
had
so.
a devious plan of murder?
No, I don't think so.
That's just the standard?
From what I've read, everything is like, oh yeah, that's totally normal. They do this all the time.
Crazy. Tiger Woods and Phil Mickelson.
Oh, what did they do? I saw that. I remember seeing their names together, but I don't remember what for.
Oh, I'm excited. Must see TV. Oh, I can't wait. We'll come back. Justin Bieber.
What did the Biebs do? Is he dead?
Steve, it's the biggest pop culture news of our lifetime. He's engaged.
What?
To somebody named
Selena Gomez?
Haley Baldwin, who may or may not be one of the Baldwin daughters.
I thought
of
that,
one of the Baldwins.
I thought that he was back with Selena Gomez.
Read the rags, would you? Ant-Man and the Wasp.
Heard that it got pretty good reviews and that something happened after the credits.
Gasped out loud.
Really?
Gasped.
Why did I not go to that with you?
You weren't home.
Why didn't you wait till I was home?
That is a valid argument to me.
I need to start going to all of the superhero movies.
Yeah.
Just so, like how Conan does the Clueless Gamer?
Clueless Watcher?
Yeah, Clueless superhero guy.
Oh, we need to do that.
Who's that guy? That's obviously Superman, you dummy.
Who's
the guy with the spider on his costume? It's probably Spider-Man.
The first thing first that we need to do video-wise, we need to watch and live record a podcast episode of Hurricane Heist.
Yeah, we never
that
did
has
see
been
that,
simmering. It's got to be out on VHS by now. It's so they're just trying to get any avenue to recoup some income. We need to watch and do an episode on just Hurricane Heist while we watch. After that, finally, actually, North Korea.
Boy, I'm shocked that they're not staying true to their word.
A lot of reports out there that the denuclearization talks that they said they want a total denuclearized peninsula may have, and I'm glad, again, second time, I'm glad you're sitting down, may not have been true.
If you can't trust North Korea, who can you trust?
They had somebody, I don't know what's his name, Mike Pompeo, visiting North Korea, did not meet Kim Jong-un. Mike Pompeo leaves, says good talks. North Korea releases a statement saying that they were very poor and devastating talks. We're so going to bomb everybody.
Yeah.
Everybody's going to die, man.
Yeah. It's a shame. I'm sure there's a lot of very nice people there.
Yeah, there's no question that the people under that regime are being the human rights violations alone are a massive issue. So
they're basically being brainwashed.
It's so bad over there. Before that, Ant-Man and the Wasp, $75 million this weekend, the most recent Marvel installation. Good news, though. If you want to go, I will absolutely go. Okay. It is the least Marvel-related movie that you can have.
So I can go in completely blind?
Seeing the first one would help to know what an Ant-Man is.
Okay.
That would probably help. But yeah, other than that, everything else pretty much ties in. You're okay.
Ant-Man and the Wasp.
I loved it.
I'm on Rotten Tomatoes right now to see.
I think it was 84.
86.
86%. Fantastic.
86. 76 million.
Some laugh-out-loud funny moments in there. And then, like you said, the first post-credit scene getting a lot of attention absolutely took my breath away.
Okay. Yeah, I saw a lot of articles breaking down what it meant or what the message was.
It's 1 minute and it pretty much is explained.
Okay, well,
but that's how you get clicks, Steve, and that's right. That's how journalism.
You won't believe what happened next.
Yeah. Before that, Justin Bieber, the Biebs, he's engaged.
Good for him.
Haley Baldwin,
I
believe. One of Alec's daughter. I don't know if she's the one that he called.
Is she the disgusting little pig?
No, I think that's Ireland Baldwin.
Haley Baldwin flaunts giant engagement ring from Bieber.
Say something else.
No. Keeping it. Wow, is that Bieber?
Yeah. Gross. Does it say who she is? That's the most important part. Is she just a model, or is she literally one of the 6 Baldwin's daughters?
Let's see here. Hold on, I had it pulled up. She is the daughter of Stephen Baldwin.
So one of the Baldwin daughters. So because Alec's daughter, I think her name is Ireland Baldwin. That can't be right. Scotland Baldwin? England Baldwin?
I mean, I laugh, but it's they all sound just as dumb.
Right. Let me look. Ireland Baldwin. Yep, that's a name. You're darn right. That's Basinger Baldwin, one of the daughters of Kim Basinger and Alec Baldwin. That's who I was thinking of. This is not her. But yeah, he's engaged, man, on the straight and narrow now.
Look at that. Good for him.
Giving up on the Gomez thing's over. He's moved on to whatever she does for work and life.
She is
Instagram
American model and
model.
television personality.
Oh, okay, you appear on TMZ Live. You're a personality now. Yeah, so that, I don't know. Do you think that even makes it to marriage? He's a mess still, right?
Yeah, I'm sure he is. Yeah, it'll make it, but it'll be like the Kim Kardashian and who's the basketball player? Chris Humphries. Where
Yeah,
they
a couple
make it
weeks.
like 75 days
Yeah.
or something.
Before that, Tiger Woods, Phil Mickelson in the news. The rumblings became public that they are in negotiations for a $10 million one-on-one match. Winner take all.
Like golf?
Yes.
Okay.
Well, I mean,
when you
can
hear,
you imagine if you pay and it's Tiger Woods and Phil Mickelson either like fencing?
well, when you say one-on-one, I immediately think basketball.
Yeah,
So,
they're squaring up.
Why would they? So it's like not a charity thing.
I'm sure there'd be some tie-in because otherwise it's just two rich
Are they
guys
rivals?
golfing on team.
Are they?
They
think
used
like
to hate each other.
Yeah.
They used to hate each other by all purposes, and I think that's really thawed over the years. As Tiger got beat up with a 9-iron, and Phil's mother or wife had breast cancer, something like that. I don't know if she passed away, but I mean, they're both almost 50. Why do you?
It's weird.
It's time to move on.
They're about the same age, but I consider Mickelson Mickelson just seems older,
right? And it goes without saying that if Tiger Woods was never born, Phil Mickelson would probably be the greatest golfer we've ever seen.
Yeah.
Same the other way. They both finished 1-2. But yeah, no, this would be monster ratings. The two golfers of our generation
playing
one-on-one, whatever course they decided, for $10 million on TV.
I mean, that's nothing to either of them, right?
No, I mean, Tiger Woods is the first, I want to say he was the first athlete billionaire.
Was he?
So to him, nothing. Probably to Phil, a little bit more. But well, Tiger's got alimony,
Hold on,
so maybe it's maybe it's not as nothing as we once thought.
Let's see, celebrity net worth. How much is Tiger Woods worth? Estimated $740 million.
Oh wow, so that has gone down then. I thought he was a billionaire.
Phil Mickelson. How much?
I'm going to guess 450.
Phil Mickelson's net worth $375. So basically half a Tiger.
A lot of money both ways.
Yeah.
$5 million, but you know what? Net worth is also a bit distracting. That's, you figure, property and deals and all that. So $5 million is still a good amount of money for both, for Phil especially. But yeah, no. Would you watch 18 holes, 3.5 hours, the two greatest golfers of our generation?
Yeah.
Now, you're not a golf fan.
No, I'm not a golf fan, but I would watch that.
That's intriguing.
Yeah.
And they apparently they both agreed to be mic'd up to make it a better experience.
That would be awesome.
That makes everything better. The fact that they haven't mic'd up NFL referees and players during the game and get that audio, boy, talk about a missed opportunity. Yeah, that'd be fun.
That would be fun to watch.
And before that, the Thai cave rescue, one of the craziest stories I think I've ever heard.
I was so tuned out while we were on vacation. Mm-hmm. I didn't pay attention to anything. And then yesterday, I kind of like reintroduced myself to the world, and I'm looking at all these news stories. I was like, I had heard something about kids trapped in a cave.
Yeah.
Then I saw it. I was like, this is the craziest story I've ever heard, because originally they said that they were going to keep them in there for like 4 months until after the monsoon season or whatever.
Which, no.
I didn't understand. I was like, they just walk in? Can't they just walk out?
Yeah.
And then they showed the complexity of the cave system.
Unbelievable.
But I mean, it's so weird, the fact that they were just like, yeah, we're just going to go for a stroll like 3 miles into this cave.
Yeah.
And then it rained hard enough in the couple hours that they were in there for it to completely fill with water.
Unbelievable. Took them 12 days to find them.
Yeah.
Or something like that. 12 or 16 days to find them. And the plan, they were still deciding what plan to do, but now rain has forced their hand. Mm-hmm. They have scuba dive trained, like essentially Navy SEAL divers. Yeah. One passed away on this route. That's how treacherous this route is.
So they've had to go in there, train these kids Like, give them a crash course. Most of them, they said, couldn't even swim. So they had to teach them how to swim. Then on top of that, teach them how to use the scuba gear. And they've been taking them out like 2 at a time. The most recent one I saw was that they had 8 or 9 of them out.
Isn't it like, I think it's 5 or 6 hours one way?
Yeah.
To get so there's scuba diving, mixed scuba diving, and then there are some raised areas that they can walk for a few minutes. These are untrained kids scuba diving for 5 to 6 hours just to get out.
Yeah.
Alive.
After a professional died
doing this,
the same thing. So
terrifying.
They've gotten a bunch of them out of there. Hopefully, by the time you're hearing this, I would imagine that the rest of them will hopefully be out.
8 out total currently as of this afternoon. That's out of 12, and that's been 2 days.
Yeah,
it is a slow process. I'm sure the divers are working different shifts, and there's different divers doing it. And
because originally I was like, well, why are they just taking like 1 at a time? Because it's so tight. It's so tight that in some cases they have to take their gear off
and roll it.
Yeah, and like pass their scuba tank through, and then which makes me think, man, I wouldn't have gone in that cave in the first place.
No, I wouldn't have gone in there.
I'd walk in, kind of look around, be like, oh, that's where you want me to crawl through? Sorry, coach, I'll see you at practice on Tuesday, but I'm like catching an Uber home.
And you know me, I wouldn't have gone in the water.
Yeah.
So let alone a cave with these tight walkways through it. What a bunch of terrifying.
Crazy.
Fast 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
All right, big news. The big news.
Oh, no. Hit me.
LeBron James.
Oh!
They call him King James.
Yeah, we call him a fraud over here. Sorry, just taken from the Stugotz that I listen to every day. You know what? You want to go to the 5th or 6th best team and just maximize your Hollywood money, so be it. I never liked the guy.
All right, next, the Thailand Cave Boys. Which seems like a weird way to... I mean, it's
I don't have Cinemax, but that feels like something that would be on.
It's all accurate, but it sounds weird when I say it.
Yeah, craziest... I mean, this is... For my money, this is this decade's Balloon Boy.
Yeah, kind of.
Very weird.
Very strange. Next, Joey Chestnut.
Oh, boy. We need to revolutionize the competitive eating game. What a mishandling and miscarriage of justice that was.
Really? You're not pleased with his victory?
I'm fine with it, but I'm pleased with the victory, but did you hear what happened during it?
No.
Oh, they missed a plate. They initially had him at 64 hot dogs, which would have, I believe, tied him. They missed a plate somehow.
Oh, yeah, because he devoured 74 hot dogs in 10 minutes.
Controversy afoot.
Oh, boy. I need to hear more about this. I didn't even see that. Mm-hmm. Next, Daniel Cormier. It's Cormier, right? Cormier and Brock Lesnar.
Oh yeah, I meant to write that down too. Now that you mention it, man,
that was all a WWE work, right?
Well, they had Lesnar there, knowing the entire plan. Whoever won, the plan was for Lesnar to confront that champion and set up the next fight because. Love him or hate him, Brock Lesnar is a moneymaker for the UFC, even though he's tested positive for steroids the last 2 times he's fought there. Good old Dana White, nothing like integrity, bring him on back. Still the WWE champion, and is now lined up for disputed reports of a November or January fight against Daniel Cormier, the 5th ever 2-division champion.
And finally, I don't know if you've watched this or not yet, but it completely consumed me for a couple of days.
Okay.
The Staircase.
I haven't watched it. I started it, forgot it, and now this is a 14-year-old documentary that just made its way to Netflix.
Yeah, which I had never heard of before.
Yeah.
Never heard of The Case.
And that's about a 1990-something...
It was a 2001
Oh, it was that
death.
Okay, so it was a quick turnaround on the documentary.
Yeah, a woman died in 2001. Kind of suspicious circumstances.
Yeah.
Without giving a lot of spoilers, I want to say that some say she the DA say that she was murdered. The defense says that she fell down the steps and suffered injuries and died as a result of those injuries. It's a 13-part series on Netflix, and it consumed me.
13?
Yeah.
Oh, I thought it was 3. There's no chance I'm taking that.
No, you
got
to watch it, though.
No.
Got to do it, man, because we need to
Genius
talk about the owl theory.
God.
I want to talk Owl Theory. Come on.
I'd rather watch 6 years of Game of Thrones than this.
So you're not going to watch it?
I'm not going to watch it.
Come
I
on.
started watching the first episode under the guise that it was 3 episodes long. You're sure it's not 3? You watched 13? You didn't watch a 3-episode documentary and then a 10-episode documentary on something else?
No.
There wasn't a weird shift?
A very similar one?
Yeah, there wasn't like a timeline shift
come
after.
on.
13?
Yeah, come on. Okay, if anyone wants to talk with me about this, hashtag
The staircase?
Staircase chat.
No, where are you at with Westworld chat? You were did you give up on that show?
I did.
You did?
It was my favorite show.
Oh, okay.
It was when we did that Fast Five,
Yeah.
where we talked about our 5 favorite TV shows. That was like number 2 on my list. Mm-hmm. And then we watched the first episode of the new season and realized I don't really remember anything that happened in the first season. So then we tried to watch the first season over again. I watched 2 episodes of it, Annette watched 2 quarter episodes of it because she kept falling asleep. And I was like, oh, I'm out. I'm done.
So all I need to do is let this thing burn for, well, apparently in between, now and whatever. Is there going to be a next season? Like, is this like
Of
making
the
a murdery?
staircase? No, I think
Or
that they pretty much wrapped it up.
All right, well, I'll give you a few
Come
weeks.
on,
It'll
man.
burn
You
off.
got to watch it.
13?
13, yeah. You can do it in a weekend easily.
Hard
They're
pass.
45 to 50 minutes.
Oh, God, no.
Really, that's the
I was
nail.
hoping for 30 minutes.
That's the nail in the coffin.
Oh, I'm out. Split them into 30 minutes.
Oh.
You edit it. Cut it down to 30 apiece.
What? I have to edit the documentary that's been edited?
Are they gonna edit it?
Come on.
You just tell me where I can fast
You've
forward.
wasted time doing less.
How dare you? I watched Cheers, a seminal American piece, 270
Come on.
half hours.
Come on.
Was that it? Was that the end?
That was the end. All right,
13?
Daniel Cormier,
Ugh.
Brock Lesnar.
Oh, yeah, my God. What? Obviously a setup. Lesnar, though.
It was so obvious. Cormier wins, and he's like,
Yeah, calls him out.
hey, Brock Lesnar's here. Get out here.
Yeah.
And then Lesnar comes out, and he pushes him, and then they yell at
Yells
each other a
F
bit.
you and calls him names. And
Yeah.
now a few things.
Lesnar appeared to be the kid who just learned how to curse. Like
Yeah, right, so
he had
just
never
doing it all the time.
Yeah, because he's in WWE,
Yeah.
which is for the most part family friendly.
PG.
Yeah, PG. He's not allowed to say bad words.
Yeah.
So he's like kind of using them incorrectly. And like,
A couple things I noticed now for UFC fans or who watch MMA, Daniel Cormier is one of the greatest fighters of our generation, but has been booed forever. Booed because for whatever reason people like John Jones, and that's his main rivalry, and Cormier can wrestle, so a lot of his wins have been essentially by smothering.
Yeah.
Well, this time he gained 40 pounds because he's a light heavyweight and knocked the guy out.
Yeah.
First time I've seen him roundly cheered.
yeah, it was a brutal hit. It was
Oh,
like
it was ugly. I thought it was an elbow.
It wasn't. Yeah, it wasn't a punch, but it was like a
Yeah.
Like it was almost like he punched him, but missed with his fist, and then
Yeah.
just complete forearm.
I was
right to the
laying
chin.
in bed watching the pay-per-view I bought and watching it, and out loud I watched it. I go, oh, no! I woke Katie up. What? I go, you have to see this. Look at how devastating, because I thought it was the guy dropped, but yeah, and then the Lesnar call-out thing, and Lesnar booed in the arena. Lines have already been drawn in the sand.
Yeah.
Now, UFC fans don't want Lesnar back because Lesnar, he's a wrestler. He tested positive for steroids a few times. Wrestling fans don't want Lesnar back because he's only around 3 times a decade.
Yeah.
You never see him. Nobody wants him. He still makes everybody a ton of money.
I know.
And,
What?
yes?
What was that?
I don't know. Not from my end. Nobody wants him. And from my side, I'll buy the pay-per-view.
That's weird.
You get a voice alert?
No, but my my watch looked up the definition of nitric oxide.
All right.
What the hell?
Yeah.
What did we say?
I don't know.
Because I bet that because like if I hold this button
I
in,
started
it's
listening.
Yeah.
No, that's a pay-per-view I buy, though. Cormier, Lesnar, I'll watch that.
So would you say like November, sometime this fall?
either November or January?
All right. Before that, we had Joey Chestnut He is the, let's see, destroyed the so-called competition at the 2018 Nathan's Famous Hot Dog Eating Contest. Chestnut devoured 74 hot dogs in 10 minutes.
Yeah, judging error cast initial doubt. This is straight from ESPN.com. A judging error cast initial doubt over their totals after jurists didn't see the eaters were taking the dogs and buns from 2 separate plates. Frankly, the judging was just off. The longtime Coney Island announcer told the Associated Press, Joey said, look at my plates. And Carmen, the second place person, said, look at my plates. We counted the plates they had eaten. It was 64 and 74. Eric Gonzalez. Now, this is where it gets official. Crazy. The Brooklyn District Attorney certified the final tally at 74. That's the District Attorney getting holiday pay, mind you.
To watch fat men eat hot dogs.
And certify a hot dog total. Yeah, I mean, at this point, is there anything to even watch? There's nobody who can eat as much as he can, since that, what was the other guy's name, got booted out for breaking eating rules?
Oh,
Kobayashi.
Yeah, because he
didn't want to sign a contract with Competitive Eating League United or whatever they're called. So it's, I don't know, is it even fun anymore? Just watch Joey Chestnut's veins in his forehead pop out and him nearly vomit.
How much does he make for that?
Who knows? Advertisement's got to be his.
Let's see. The 34-year-old former construction manager turned full-time competitive eater, obliterated the competition, and won the $10,000 prize.
So that's it.
All right,
he lives off that till the next 4th of July.
Some stats here. 74 hot dogs, totaling 22,200 calories, which is 1,700% of your daily value of fat, 2,200% saturated fat, 888% of your daily cholesterol intake.
Boy.
Sodium, that's the big one, though. 2,368%.
Oh, a lot of salt.
Yeah.
A lot of salt in those Nathan's dogs.
Congrats to you, Joey Chestnut, for the big 10,000. Although, I mean, that's a lot.
Like money, but he's got to make his money on advertisements because that's a televised event.
Yeah, I wonder how many of these competitions he does a year.
Yeah, I think he does like wings and all that.
Yeah, because he's full-time. You figure if you win, I don't know, if you compete and won like can you do once a week? Is that?
Yeah, does your body allow you? Adam Richmond,
but
Man vs. Food, did it for once a month for TV. He had to retire because these challenges were killing him.
Yeah, yeah, but I mean, if you win. Because this is probably the biggest one, I would assume. The Nathan's Hot Dog Eating Contest. That's like that's the Super Bowl, right?
And it's $10,000.
$10,000. Yeah, I was gonna say and he you got to win 6 of them a year to make
maybe
a decent salary.
Maybe Chestnut's doing some data entry on the side to pay some bills.
Who knows? All right. Before that, we had the Thailand Cave Boys.
Yeah, just an insane story that we talked about. Hope everything finishes as well as it looks like it started. I remember the first reports of this rescue idea, people saying, that better be their last-ditch idea, and you're asking for problems. So far, it seems to have gone off very well.
Yeah, apparently Elon Musk is sending like a child-sized submarine over there or something.
Oh, I thought he would just maybe shoot it in space and say, see you in a decade on Mars that we'll never get to because I'm a liar.
No, he had his engineers build a submarine and send it there, but apparently it's not going to get there in time and they're going to have them all out.
It's just like everything Musk does. And now I love the man's ideas. Has he done anything on time or anything that's helped anybody? He shot a convertible into space and acting like he did something. That's like me going and kicking a can of beans into a lake and going, hurrah, look at me, I'm Elon Musk.
And before that, LeBron James.
Oh, God.
King James, now part of the LA Lakers.
Now, quickly, Steve, you and I, let's run down the Western Conference. Where does LA rank? We've got the Golden State Warriors, the obvious number one, the prohibitive favorites. They signed DeMarcus Cousins to play center, which is a coup. Everybody's up in arms against the NBA. They have to do something to stop the Golden State Warriors. Got the Houston Rockets, Chris Paul. Got James Harden. You've got the second best team they could have.
Oh, that's weird. The microphones. God, why do they always do that?
Game 7 a year
so
ago,
weird.
They could have beaten the Warriors.
So weird how that always happens. Hey, thanks for listening. Especially to Free Beer and Hot Wings listeners who are hanging around, hopefully clicking the subscribe button. You can download subscribe and review the show in iTunes, the Apple Podcast app, Google Play, TuneIn, Stitcher, YouTube, Libsyn, StephenKyle.com, wherever you download your podcast from. Chances are you'll be able to find us on there. But like I said, just StephenKyle.com if you want to subscribe to it. Thank you so much for the donations to the GoFundMe.
Yeah.
We're hopefully going to have some news in the next week and a half on where our billboard is going to be, if it's going to be there. Remember, if you think that we should gamble with the money, now this is only going to be open to people who actually contributed.
Yeah, so really there's 25 people who can chime in on this.
Yeah, let us know your thoughts on that. We need a hashtag.
Hashtag billboard roulette.
Hashtag billboard roulette. We want to take the money to the local casino.
Yeah.
And put it all on the line.
And also,
put it all on black or all on red.
Phil Apart, if you're listening to this with your beautiful artwork that you make, thank you as always. But also to anybody and everybody, even ideas for our billboard, what should be on there, logo, slogan, catchphrases, whatever you think, send us your ideas on Twitter and Facebook. Please do that so we can start hammering out some ideas.
Yeah, Facebook.com/StephenKyle or on Twitter @StephenKyle. I think that's it, right?
Yeah, that's it.
All right, talk to you next week.